Welcome back to the CCL, everybody. I am Surplus, joined by the wonderful, amazing AJ Cannon. AJ, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty well. Even better getting to cast with the GOAT over here, the guy who is behind all of the CCL stuff. Give a cheer over here for the Dylan Surplus.
Ooh, you made it rhyme,
and another
too.
cheer. Yeah, and another cheer for $520 until we get rid of the mustache.
Yes, $520. Actually, I'm going to really quickly illustrate to you what we're shaving off here, okay? So we're going to take a little right turn up here, as you can see, and shave me. There we go. Yeah, shave this, please. Please do it. How much are we at so far? 500 and what? No.
I think it was 130. It's 520 until.
$520. If anybody has $520, you want to get rid of this, let me know. I went to the barber today, though. He trimmed it up. He made it look real nice. It's nice and trimmed up. I got a fade. Look at that. Look at that. Coldest lines in the OS community right here. And a fade on the mustache, which I will be getting if we hit that goal. So make sure to donate. It goes to a great cause and helps a lot of CCL students, collegiate programs, and families out in the Southeast. So make sure to donate there. We've got a wild matchup. These two teams, we didn't see them be 2-0 before the season. This is kind of a bit of a surprise a little bit. AJ, tell me a little bit about these guys here, these teams.
I mean, these aren't usually some of the front-running teams you might expect, but they are definitely, they have some power to them that you might not expect. Because, you know, you look at them and they have a couple of players that are really good and, you know, maybe one or two that aren't as good. But those players that are really good. And the players that aren't as good have those sort of brotherly figures to look up to and to learn from. So these are the teams that you really expect to see a lot of improvement from some of the players going forward. And then as well, just having those, you know, I mean, the QI Jacobs and the Wolfman of the world to just be the steady rocks of these teams. And it's not quite a 1v1. I want to be fair to everyone in the game. But those are definitely the players to keep an eye on in this game. So look forward to them and how they sort of play against one another in this one. Other than that, it's probably going to be quite a fun going on Taiko Temple first map.
It's going to be a very fun match, I'll tell you that much. It's just an appetizer for the GMU game later against the UCF Rods. I did say York Spartan Strikers would take this one, but honestly, I did it to cop out Vaughn, because if I said Texas State, they would have been like, oh, Texas bias. If I said YCP, they'd be like, oh, you're copying me. I couldn't win. So I think it's going to be a very, very close matchup, but I would not be surprised if either of those teams win, and Threezy comes out with a dub here if Texas State wins it all here. As we talk about this, we've got the map picks and bans. I know we're not going to keep y'all waiting for any longer. We got Imy's app and Demon Days, both banned out by York and Texas State. First pick, we're going to be heading on to Taiko Temple. As you said earlier, AJ, we're going to be having a lot of fun there. Then pick 2, Night Market. Night Market will be back into the rotation, so we'll see Night Market yet again tonight. Oni Village, Atlas Lab, both banned out, with Clarion being left behind. What do you think about these map picks and bans? Is it a good strategy here?
I mean, it is, I will call it a novel and fun strategy. Banning out the Atlab is really nice to see go into that CTC Game 3 if we get over to it. And of course, banning out the KO maps at the beginning, I'm a big fan of Imy's app and the Demon Dice when they go full KO, so it's a little sad to see them banned, but it is nice to start with that Taiko Temple. So props to YCP there for picking a fun map first. And then, of course, we're going to get that Night Market Game 2, so there's still going to be some blood in the water here. Oni Village being banned, Atlab being banned, those are probably, I would say, the most stock standard maps, the most control-heavy maps where you don't get a ton of surprises on them. You kind of know what you're getting with them. So seeing them banned out means that it's a little harder to predict exactly what's going to happen here. But I think that's all the more fun for it in this.
Indeed. Let's get right into this draft here as well. We've got 2 bans already. You got the Zentaro ban and the Dubu ban, and or Ponder or Castellasa are starting Awakenings here.
That Orb Ponder start. I mean, Castellast as well, you can see a lot of fun things with that, but Orb Ponder almost definitely going to be picked up on the goalies, whoever they are. That might be a Kai goalie, and he can take Castellast. He's one of those that can just take that and literally run with it. But he can also go the Orb Ponder to run more often rather than once for longer, sort of quality versus quantity debate. The Kazan is going to be an interesting pick there. Almost certainly going to pick up the Orb Ponder because he has nothing that benefits from the cast to last there. And as well, just talk about the bans there. That Dubu ban with the cast to last, he is kind of a menace because, of course, he has the wall and the log, and those are well known as for cast to last.
And
but
he's got the orbs.
Little known fact, yeah, he has the choice between the orbs and the cast to last. But less known fact about Dubu, that stun and the somersault is a debuff, so it does get affected. So you can hit someone with that, and they're just kind of CC'd out of the game. You basically get to win the interaction completely free. X is a contender for that cast to last.
But we won't. Yep,
does
we
affect
see
his
that.
ultimate.
We do see X, we do see Kazan, we see Aimi rounding it all out here. Looks like a pretty interesting draft to start things off. I'm interested to see how Jacob without the Dubu will work. If Jacob's going to be on the Kai goalie or the Juno goalie, how that's going to work. Probably the Asher goalie because, of course, it has that that bit of a boost there in the goal. Quick strikes and whatnot. So we might see that, but who knows? Who knows? We might see a Brawler Asher. We might see a Brawler Juno. We might see Kai dicing up on the sticks Zoro-like. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We just gotta wait for the game to start. And starting, it will be starting soon as we get everybody in and ready. So AJ, who do you think's taking this one? As of right now, the predictions are pretty close right now. I think it's more leaning towards Texas State. The chat's more Texas State pilled at the moment.
I think that depending on the way the team comps go, if we have that Kai on the goalie with the Juno midfield and the Asher forward, I think it's a really nice comp for the Taiko Temple, almost Odoni Village, that was banned. But for that Taiko Temple, I think if we have that Kai in the goalie, there's a lot of forward pressure and also a nice stock goalie there with the Kai. So you can really play Taiko Temple to its advantages there. So I think if we do see that Kai on the goalie, I think that they're going to take that. However, if we see something like the Asher goalie, I worry with Kai and Juno as your forwards, it could be really difficult to force through. Especially if, you're also getting brawled out by that X-Kazan combo. It can be tough to get through with the likes of Juno and Kai. Possible, but nowhere near as easy as Asher of just dash, strike, barrier, strike, and just get it done.
Indeed. We will see. We're queuing into the game right now again, starting off on Taiko Temple. I didn't put my pick in, but you guys heard me yap on the pre-show all about both of these teams. I just hope both teams have fun. Honestly, it's an East versus Central matchup. I love my boys at Texas State, my lads at Texas State, but it's going to be a good one. We're on to Taiko Temple. We're starting it off, and here are your starting awakenings yet again. You know exactly what everybody will be picking.
Looks like we might be getting that Juno goalie you mentioned briefly there. Another good iteration. I generally like Kai a little bit more on the goalie and Juno a little bit more on the midfield, but Juno can be a really fine goalie. Potentially just paying back that Cake's $100 and the raid, paying him back with that Juno. Shouting out there. Although, of course, we have yet to see which awakening Jacob's going, if he's been Cake's pilled or not. Will be interesting to see there. But we also have... on the other side, of course, we have Aimi, X, and Kazan, and that's a kill comp if I've ever seen one.
Yes.
That's so much potential for damage coming out of here. That it's just a lot. So
it looks like we do have a bit of a spec bug here. Who's playing Asher? Who's playing Juno?
Yeah, so we have Ozzy on the Asher, Jacob on the Juno, and nice claps on the Kai there. So it is going to be the Juno goalie. On the other side of the map, we have Wolfmang on that Kazan in the goalie position, taking a barrier as well. Two barriers going down in flying fashion here. We see Red Team taking that lead. Some aggression, though, firing back. Good bounces off the barricades from Wolfmang, trying to get it forward. The X finally wins a strike war against Ozzy. Takes a little bit of damage for it, and now the core's back in his possession. It's so difficult to get through this combo of the Kai and the Asher, especially when then there's Juno slams right behind it. But they're getting it done a little bit until it gets back on the other side there. Wolfmang trying to go around, trying to get things done. Core flip comes out super early here. We see the bell ringer almost get it done, Big Bro. Almost able to do it, but he is able to kill the enemy goalie there. Juno is down. That is first blood and first goal as well. Well done to the York Strikers.
York Spartans on the board first. We'll see if Texas State can get any more of this defense back up. It's interesting to see that, you've got Ozzy on this Asher. You've got Jacob on the Juno. It helped. The alliteration kind of helps there for those watching at home. One goal barrier already down. They are angry. Big Bro, though, has the core flip. It's ready to strike at any moment in time. Pretty brawler focus so far as well. Wolfgang from downtown grabs one with the core flip. Big Bro makes that two. And Texas State needs to fight to stay alive here in this set. Let's see if Jacob can keep the defense going. Core flip comes out for Big Bro, lets it expire. The conveyor belt comes out. Nice claps. Dead. See you later. Goodbye. Ozzy's creeping up on the Asher as Jacob keeps the core out of harm's way. We were saying, Jacob, hey, you do not want to doubt Jacob right now. Jacob is one of the best goalies, in my opinion, in the entire league. So keep that in mind. You also have Wolfgang as well, another one of the best goalies in the league as well. The goal barrier goes down. One goal could be done here for either Texas State or York. We'll see where that ends up here as overtime creeps in.
Oh, and that's going to be the goal as soon as you pass it over.
As soon as I pass it over. 2-0 so far.
That was some really good play there by the York Strikers. Texas State nearly making a comeback, but I'm really worried for them here. Because every time, and I always yap about it, but X scales. He is infamous for scaling. So whenever you see him winning early like this, it is so difficult to imagine the other team coming back from that. Possible, but they are already getting brawled out. They're basically knocked into their own goal box, having to fight against this X. Well, Wolfgang and Aether Echo gets a kill flip off of that, gets it forward to the X as well, gets a barrier. Another flip there. Jacob fails the counter flip, and that's an open goal. Wolfgang passing it forward as well, bouncing off the middle, goal rush into the kill. I mean, that was an absolute, to say it, disaster for Texas State. They need to really figure out what they're doing in this one and find a way to stay alive, but it is going to be absolutely brutal against this Comp York Strikers. Granted, not a ton of damage coming out here, but there is the opportunity for X to deny Egoist or Unstoppable, or just pick a perfect form himself.
And he'll grab this Egoist here. The Juno is grabbing the team player. Definitely helps there on the goalie. Orb Dancer going to this Kazan. Potentially to get this Kai. Nice claps off of that Orb Awakenings bundle. Fight or flight, and then perfect form. Followed up, finally, by Ozzy of Texas State grabbing that Monumentalist.
Yeah, that is a little unfortunate for Wolfgang, who did not get that team player. Of course, if you're playing the Kazan goalie, that's one of the main things you're looking for, because you get to red core it just in that closed form. Gigablast goes a little wide, unfortunately, and that is not what you want to see from Nice Claps there, not what you want to see from this blue team here. When they're trying, they want to rush through these points, because the longer these points last, the harder it is for them, the more opportunity there is for them to be damaged down. We see Nice Claps very low on health already. 30 seconds into the point, he's staggered, but they're fighting back. Big Bro is now very low on health. That's going to be Kai going down. Wolfgang is playing super far up now. Pass down from the IME, the slime. Recovery from Jacob is really nice.
Oh my goodness.
That's an X bouncing all the way across.
Bouncy house, baby. We're on Borg's Bounce Castle anyway, so it makes sense as to why there was a massive exit there. Texas State has the advantage for the next 3 seconds. Aether Echo grabbing core flip here. I can't speak today. Trying to grab a core flip right here. Will do that and fakes out. Jacob 1-0 York.
Absolutely well done there by the side of York, and playing into that same plan as the first set. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kill the opponent, stagger them even if you don't get the KOs. They're staggered, they have to stay away, and then you just have so many different tools. Kazan is holding it down. Wolfman is a G here. Just absolutely holding it down. Core flipping through the Asher ultimate. That pass splitter not getting a ton done. Gets one barrier, but not enough. And Ozzy's dying just to be in the enemy goalie box to try and do something. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's just Jacob with an IME and an X in his face, just trying to stay alive. And I mean, Big Bro didn't even need to use the core flip there. Well, Jacob tried to flip just to get something done, but Texas State is trying to put so much effort into this, but all of that effort is not keeping them alive.
Texas State needs to work on the levels here. You're already starting to see York outpace them in levels and in kills. So you're going to see, especially with Big Bro on the X, very brawler focus. Wolfmang slicing and dicing it up like a chef in the goalie box there on the Kazan. Having an extra bit of kill detail is helping York a ton here. Texas State has his goal open, so Jacob will push. Oh no! There goes the Wolfmangster. Nice claps, puts it in. 1 for Texas State.
Texas State, the beginning of the reverse sweep in this set, potentially on the board. Finally, they're trying, and they are succeeding now. They had that magic sauce. They got it. Whatever it is that they needed to do in that point, they did it right. Looked a little close at times, but Ozzy got that kill flip really nice, set up the goal so beautifully, and now we see so many slimes around, but that's going to be Kai dying as well. Ether Echo into the Cyber Swipe kill flip combo. Just absolutely brutal for the Kai. Big Bro as well, just so massive with the X Maximus, you can't strike it through him. By the time it gets to the other side of his hitbox, his strike is reset. Core flip as well into the barrier taken. Perfect execution there from this X. Knows this pick very well, it seems, and just absolutely going to town on the enemy team there. Texas State, QI Jacob playing super far up, trying to get something done. Eject button's back there, and pass up with a bell ringer to Ether Echo goes down, but it is intercepted by Kai. It is the opportunity for Texas State to go forward. Can they get something done?
Aether Echo super duper low, grabs some orbs, try to heal up, and look at Ozzy cycling and sparking, but Big Bro finds the angled bottom net. York is up 2-0 in this set. We'll see what happens in the draft, see if Texas State can come back.
Yeah, but with a draft like this, with the opportunity to deny the hot shot away from the Juno, Aimee getting to pick up something like Explosive Entrance, Super Surge, even Siege Machine, not too bad. So many options here. Just going to go for the deny on the hot shot there. Definitely understandable. Hot shot can be very good on that Aimee, just able to red core abilities around, and also keeps Asher from picking it up too. But I think she wants to go for that 1-2 punch anyways. Ozzy's going to be able to do a lot more damage now and potentially fight back. The Explosive Entrance on that Juno as well with the eject button just means there's a lot more potential for her to jump super long range and get things done. Jacob might be able to play forward, basically play a third forward in this comp, and that might be what Texas State needs.
Especially with that kill efficiency, they need to get on the board here with the kills, get some power plays in and going. They've had multiple times and multiple opportunities for themselves to grab a kill, but oh, there they go. Big Bro punching it out, but Ozzy grabs the kill. Texas State has the power play. How long will it last, though? 1 goal barrier down. They're trying to make it 2. Jacob has to double back, passes it up to Nice Claps, and grabs the second barrier. Ozzy in prime positioning to grab another goal here. Nice Claps wandering around. Maybe can get an opening here, but Wolfmang will not let up. He will not surrender. He's a brick wall out there. Juno, the QI Jacob man himself, is trying his best to defend as Nice Claps and Ozzy descend upon this goal. Will they be able to grab one? Yes, they can. A wide open shot from Ozzy.
Texas State takes the lead for the first time in this game here in potentially the final set. For Texas State, this is it. If they do not win this set, they do not win this game. That's a massive thing to be down in the series. They get the first barrier as well. They have woken up. 2 barriers going down. Ozzy has the core flip as well. Not going to use it just yet. Trying to wait until the perfect opportunity. The Cyber Swipe goes forward, but the slime is perfect there from Jacob. Getting it forward, getting so much done with that. Ozzy getting brawled out, but he's actually fairly tanky now. Core forced out of Jacob, but so much patience there. The patience of a saint, able to get it through that X Maximus to X. Ozzy doesn't quite get the core flip he was hoping for. Barrier's going to go down on the left side here. Texas State in dire waters, but it is an open goal on both sides if they can just get it through. But another whiff flip from Nice Claps, and that's going to be an amazing save by Jacob with the Juno
I'm
jump.
so sorry that I just screamed that loud, but that goalie tech right there from Jacob was insane. The jump deny as the core flip is going in. They need to keep that up, and he does it again. Oh my goodness, the Juno pick is real. Big Bro has the core flip though. This could be bad, and it does end up to be a nightmare. From a dream save to a nightmare in the month of October. York has pulled back, tied.
Absolutely tragic as well. We saw the slimes despawn as the core was going right to them. An absolute betrayal You saw Jacob try to throw out that primary at the last second when those slimes despawned, but then it was too little, too late. And we just see another York Strikers. They let him have one, but that is all for now. They get the double barrier forward. Nice Claps is once again very low on health there, but so is Aimee. Ether Echo is being targeted down. One barrier going down as well with the help with the jumping Jacob himself, trying to go forward, trying to play as forward as he can, because Texas State needs to play forward. They need to play the control. They need to stay alive. They're doing it so far, but that bull rush is excellently executed from Big Bro.
Love that wordplay there, AJ. That's exactly what it was. An XGG, if you will. Match point here for the York Spartan Strikers. They're knocking on the door. It's almost trick-or-treat time, and the treat goes to Texas State. Maybe a little trick if you think about it. 2-for-1 special. Nice Claps going up, and boom! Wolfman wasn't there to deal. Big Bro was just too far away. Tied up here. Texas State could get a set.
Yeah, and that would be huge for them as well. A lot of mental pressure eased if you can win that set. Even if they lose the game, if you're able to get that one set, it makes the game winnable. It just inspires so much confidence. But of course, they're shooting for more than just one set in a game. They're shooting for the game. They're getting the double with Nice Claps. He is woken up. He is playing this Kai so well. All of a sudden, just like a switch has flipped and so many good things are happening, but so many bad things as well for Texas State. They're losing their own double barrier there. The core flip from Ozzy's really nice, but I mean, Wolfman, he's not going to let that just happen. He is playing so well on this defense the entire game. Just a rock-solid iron wall of this Kazan goalie, less conventional pick, and that's going to be the goal going in. QI Jacob trying to Juno jump to save, as he did so many times earlier, but that is just a really nice positioning by Big Bro. Fed the core from behind, gets it forward to that corner, and that is game one going the way of York Strikers in a 3-0 set sweep. Texas State needs to go back to the drawing board and somehow find a way to stay alive, especially going into Night Market Game 2.
Indeed, Night Market Game 2 will be here. Great first map for both teams, in my opinion. Getting the screenshots over to these teams as well. We're going to wait and see what the draft will hold. Predictions are up for map 2 as well, if you are so inclined. 7 goals for Big Bro, the X doing the work, mopping and cleaning this entire baseball field like it's nobody's business. My goodness, and Nice Claps could only try to get it up there for Texas State. The Juno, though, Jacob, has 110 redirects, 51 saves, almost as many as Wolfman. Definitely the MVP for Texas State there is the defensive mind of Jacob.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that how just precise the execution of York Strikers' forward offense was, that, you know, even Jacob could only get 51 saves there. Not to say that it's a tiny number by any means, but every single time it was going through, there wasn't much of an opportunity for Jacob to get those saves. It was just so precisely executed, so many abilities being stacked one on top of another. Most of the time the goals were going in, it was because Jacob was just hit stunned by a bull rush or a cyber swipe just from across the field. So many things lining up to make sure that he couldn't save. So Ether Echo also as well getting a set MVP once. Not what you would normally expect when you have a platinum on a team with 2 challengers, but definitely delivering on that performance. Ether Echo is definitely a very surprising underdog performance there from a player that you would normally be ignoring with all the other names in this. But shout out to Ether Echo for not getting cowed by that, not saying, oh, I don't have to play well because I have good players on my team. No, I'm just going to play the game. I'm going to have fun with the game, and I'm just going to, you know, kill the opponent, score the goals, do whatever I can. And really solid performance there.
Well said indeed here, AJ. I mean, this York team is spitting. They are firing on all cylinders, and Texas State, again, really, really good team. It just needs to get their head in the game. They're staying on the blue side, Texas State, the Bobcats are, so we'll see them back on the blue side. York is on the red. We're getting the draft ready to go. It looks like we've got Glass Cannon. Yes, we've got Glass Cannon, and we've got Adrenaline Rush here in the game.
Adrenaline Rush on Night Market, you say?
I do say that. I do be saying that sometimes.
That is definitely one of the awakenings of all time to get on this map of all maps.
So real, so true.
I'm imagining that Julie is going to be pick banned. If it is not banned, it's almost certainly going to be that first pick because she's just so good with that adrenaline rush. Especially if you can stack with the fight or flight, it's just instant reset on dash punch, just dash punch into dash punch, and on night market of all maps, it is so good. But you also see, I mean, with that glass cannon on the other side of it, you can see some prevalence in like a Kai pick just for the speed of it. The power is nice, but the speed is amazing as well. So we're gonna see X-Ban coming out, not wanting a repeat of last game there. Duban as well, I believe, was an echo of the first game. So they do not want to go up against that Dubu.
Yes.
Kai going to be picked first, which means that Julie will fall over there to YCP. And that is, I'm not going to call it an entire misdraft. I want to see what blue team is cooking before I call it an outright misdraft. But it's definitely going to be an uphill battle there with that Julie Rasmus. Could be Rasmus goalie. You sometimes see that, but especially on night market, Rasmus midfield can kind of cook, and by cook, I mean fry the opponents with that Julie doing so much damage and knockback. It's going to be brutal.
Aesop, thank you for the donation of $5. We are down to $5.15 to go before I shave this wretched stash from my body. So thank you, Aesop. You're dope. Anyway, moving on through this draft. You said, yeah, misdraft with the Julie. The Julie's gonna have a lot of offensive power there, where the X had it last game as well. It's a good thing that Texas State did ban it this time. It would have been bad news on this night market pick, but Texas State also has the Asher and Atlas. Okay, so I think we might be seeing a Jacob Atlas goalie here. And then, you know, Ozzy staying on this Asher, and then the Kai staying on for nice claps. Estelle rounds it out here for York. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that the Estelle doesn't quite fit in to that York comp, and that's going to be the hope of Texas State. Estelle midfield can do some damage. Most likely going to be a siphoning wand, maybe a return of that meta from a while ago. But I would have loved to see some other more aggressive midfield coming out of here from the York Strikers there. Just because it's okay. Like, Estelle midfield can cook and can fit into a kill comp. But I don't feel like it's as kill comp as it could be. So it feels like a sort of hedging bets from the York Strikers of saying, you know, we don't want to put all of our eggs in the KO basket. We want to have a little bit of option for core control, but I feel like that is the exact wrong play to go on night market with Ad Rush start, because Ad Rush is just that strong. 40% speed, I believe it is. Or was it 80% speed even? No, 80 is Egoist. 40% speed off the Adrenaline Rush is just so massive. So you get your entire team on the kill comp. You all hit the opponent, even if, you know, it's the takedown. So if you assist in the kill as well, you just get so much speed there. If you go pummelers as well on your forwards, there's so much speed there. So you're looking at like 55% speed in that striker advantage play. You are blitzing your opponents. You are just stacking power play after power play if your entire team takes that adrenaline rush. So again, I don't think Estelle is a bad pick, but I think it is not the best pick, and therefore is, you know, not ideal and bad in comparison. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how these team comps play into each other. But there is hope for Texas State in not getting completely blitzed, much like they did last game, where they just couldn't stay alive for more than a few minutes at a time, it feels like.
They do have this Atlas, which has great defensive capability. I think that they might have a shot here. We will see as we load into Night Market, as we will show y'all the starting awakenings and the pick bans as well, just so we're all on the same page here. It looks like we got all the names back, so that's good. That's very, very, very good. Aesop, don't worry. It just wasn't on that scene, so that's unfortunate. The animation was not on that scene, but hey, that's okay. Just keep donating. How about that? Dubu and X-Band out as we expected here, and AJ, I'm guessing that I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe is this still York's game to win or Texas State's game to lose?
I think up until the Estelle pick, it was York's to win, just with the sheer presence of that kill comp. Even in the face of an Atlas, if you just go full kill comp, he only gets his ult every like 60 seconds. They keep changing the cooldown on it. But every minute, basically, his ult comes up. You can play around that. You can play through it, basically. But when you don't commit to that kill comp, I feel like it becomes a lot easier to resurrect. So I feel like in that case, QI Jacob, if he's good on that Atlas ultimate, if he's just rock solid on it, saving who he needs to save, there's a very strong chance that they can come back and Texas State can take this game.
Wolfmang on the Rasmus. I mean, I saw him on the Kazan earlier, now on the Rasmus. Good pick there for the defending portions here. Ozzy grabs a goal barrier of their own, so now we're even 1-1. Nice claps, and Big Bro doing a little bit of a scuffle, a rivalry scuffle, if you will, against these two Frostfire and Ember Monarchs forwards or goalies. The characters, they're rivals, right? They're rivals. Doing a little scuffle there at the midfield. 10 seconds left in this matchup. We'll see if overtime comes into play. The goal barrier is down. Texas State's going to try to make it work as Aether teleports out as Estelle, and the goalies aren't there. Nice claps, gets the first lick. 1-0.
Yeah, and that is huge for Texas State there, being in the lead from the beginning. Again, just so much hope coming out of that. Mental momentum is a massive part of the best of 3 experience, where you come off a losing game and you just think the series is lost. We're 1 game away from losing. What's the point in even playing sometimes? But you win that first point, that's kind of a mental reset, just allows the players just get that second win and really play a lot better. And can even be the other way as well. York Strikers coming off of that dominant win and then losing. It's like, was that just a fluke? So really has to, be that mental game between the players. But we see the one barrier going down Texas State. So York Strikers not out of it just yet, not being caught off. They get the 2 barriers, still up 2. So, they let them have 1. They were a little shook for a little bit. Great hold, good patience on that core flip from the Juliet there. The absolute textbook play against Atlas, just holding that core flip until he wastes all of his abilities, and just getting that goal for York Strikers.
Look, all I'm going to say right now is York has got some very passionate fans in the chat at the moment. They are very, very passionate, and they're going to get even crazier after that KO comes out from Big Bro on the Julie. 1 goal barrier down, make it 2 by Aether. Aether also has the core flip. They're going to get into position, not unless Big Bro can just slap it on in. 2-1 York.
Yeah, for all my hyping up of Texas State and trying to counter all of the rabid fans for York Strikers, it seems that all of those fans cheering on York Strikers is just too much. There is no mental game that York Strikers cannot win with all of their fans behind their back. Ozzy trying to win these strike wars, but has to go through Estelle and the Rasmus. Nice Peps is trying to cover the bottom clear, but no such thing happened. They just forced it right on through that Asher. Not a common occurrence, but if you have enough abilities, sometimes you can just catch them off guard there. Strike shot as well from Jacob, going a little bit wide, unfortunately. The secondary from Wolfmang trying to clear it. The core flip is going to be used. Gets it forward, but not for too long. Nice claps, though, flirting with death. Narrowly dodges that dash punch from Juliet there, staying alive in the game so far. The Giga goes wide, though, unfortunately. We have Julie and Asher sharing that speed gate. Crystal Thorns gets to the corner, gets it to Big Bro, who puts it in with the core flip. Not quite. The dash punch not perfectly lined up, but the stun onto Jacob means he can't run down. Nice claps a little bit too far away as well. And that is going to be the first set to York Strikers. And it's going to be Juliet on that first pick in the draft, which is terrifying to see. Not 1-2 punch, but still has a bunch of great options in the explosive entrance, the perfect form, even stagger, swagger, and unstoppable, just to deny it from opponents.
At least at this point, Texas State has a goal on the board. This is not a full remake of the last game. We'll see what they can do here. The Unstoppable on the Juliet's going to be massive. The Twin Drive, though, on Atlas, it's going to help a little bit more with that defensive capability. Those shields, the Iron Spear, what have you. Rounding it out, we got Catalyst, Aerials, Perfect Form, and Stagger, Swagger rounding this out.
Yeah. And another big part of that, yes, Atlas gets the Twin Drive, but he doesn't get the Unstoppable, which is really what you want against this dash-punching Julie and piercing shot from Estelle. So much defensive pressure from that Unstoppable, but so really good deny there from Big Bro. In addition to just being able to stay alive on Julie, there wasn't much kill pressure, but now there's basically none. If Julie dies this game, it's most likely going to be from a misplay or a very concerted effort from the side of Texas State. But it's not out of the question. Great secondary from Jacob, making use of that Twin Drive there. Really well done. The flurry comes out. The Twin Drive a little bit too little, too late there. Just hits the Julian as such a tiny thing, it doesn't block everything that it needs to. Big Bro as well has that core flip available. Wolfmang also very close to his own. The energy economy quite in favor of the York Strikers here. The Crystal Thorns is a little bit wide though. The Twin Drive Atlas using so many cosmic expenses there, but not getting a ton done with that one. A lot of core back and forth in the middle as well, and we're kind of settling a little bit more into this, as I say, as the Rose Warp is a little bit too late, and Ozzy opens up the goal. Texas State has the opportunity to sweep.
Big drive here, a Hail Mary pass from Jacob, falling into the hands of Ozzy. It just doesn't really work out, though. Nice claps can bring it right back down onto the field. Watch out, though. Big Bro has a flip and is not afraid to use it, as is Jacob. Jacob sends it out, but Wolfmang whips it off. Both goals are now open. Ozzy has the core flip as well. No! Has to utilize it to get away from Wolfmang, who has got some damage on themselves as well. Aether has a core flip too. Probably gonna try to get into position unless Ozzy can get a goal right here. Nice claps. Almost clear onto the energy. They're keeping the core away from him so that things don't get messy. Aether has the core flip. We'll use it, and bang! Goes the dynamite. Aether pistol whips Jacob into doom and despair. 1-0 York.
And that right there is the effect of not having Unstoppable on that Atlas. Was a pixel too far back, and Aether not one to miss that. But good momentum here from Texas State, not letting themselves be cowed by that loss, getting the first barrier here. They're trying, and they are getting, as the game progresses, they are getting more and more good at staying alive, at fighting back against the York Strikers, and York Strikers are going to need to sort of lock in a little bit more on getting these kills. It's not going to be quite as easy with these players that are a little more experienced and a little more wary of that happening. But of course, Wolfmang, as ever, rock solid on that defense, even as Jacob is doing some amazing defending himself. At the end of the day, it comes down to Wolfmang, and Wolfmang is just holding so well, so often.
One goal barrier down. Ozzy trying to make it 2. Wolfmang doing a great job on the defense, as is Jacob. Jacob's playing a little bit more forward, a little bit more offensive this game. Needs to help out Nice Claps and Ozzy a little bit. This team has stayed together, I want to say, for the entirety of CCL. They have been improving slowly but surely throughout the years. First year forward. Last year, 3-5. They only lost that due to bad scheduling. Just unfortunate scheduling agreements there, so they're looking to get into at least play-ins or playoffs this year, as they did in the open beta tournament all those years ago. Goal open here, and Ozzy slaps it right on in. Wolfmang can't do a whole lot to stop that one. It's tied up 1-1.
Yeah. Texas State proving that they're not out of this yet, and that they are perfectly capable of getting it through the York Strikers. But they have to do it more often. They have to dial in on whatever it is that's causing them to get those plays, that coordination.
Oh, no.
But that's not how you do it. Big Bro finding the kill there onto Ozzy, getting the reset and the speed from Adrenaline Rush. So massive.
Massive indeed. Ozzy will be back here now, but they got one goal barrier out of it, and Big Bro is not looking for just one, looking for 2 here. Jacob does the core flip, only fumbles it for some time, but Big Bro finds the angle, grabs the goal barrier, and Aether Echo slaps it right on in for yet another set point.
Yeah, an absolute just beast of a midfield here on Aether Echo. Always reliable there. Big Bro knows that, oh yeah, I don't even need to try and score. I'll just set it up, and I know that my Estelle can just take care of things. I can just focus on killing. I can do what I want to do. My Estelle will take care of the rest. But Wolfmang actually a little bit of a slip up there, missing the pendulum swing. Ozzy getting the drop on him. Rosewarp goes really nice, kind of sets up Collapse, but Collapse not quite able to get through the piercing shot and the punch used. Not enough to secure any barriers, and that is Texas State taking a lead sort of in the cooldown war here and has more abilities available going into this next stage. But Jacob strikes a little bit too late there, unfortunately, and loses that top barrier. Now we're sitting 1 barrier to 1 barrier, 2 goals to 1. York Strikers are very close to closing out the set. Wolfmang playing up, uses the core flip, trying to play aggressive. Potentially a sign of nerves, but also could just be a sign of confidence in the team and in the aggression that they can and have been putting forth all throughout this series.
Nerves are definitely a factor right now. As we get a $25 donation, thank you to DJ All That for the donation to the American Red Cross. Overtime, core flip comes out, bang! Oh my goodness, sneaks it around Jacob there. Goal is open, Ozzy tries to do the same, but it doesn't quite connect. Nice clap, super low. Big Bro strikes yet again. And York pretty much has this in the bag. Elusive pop by Jacob, but Big Bro arrives all the same. York 3 goals away from taking it 2-0.
Yeah, one final set potentially, but also this is the point. This is about the most reverse sweepy you can get. So Texas State, if you are waiting for that to give us some content and build up some hype, this is the time to fight back. This is where it begins. Atlas picking up something like Extra Special, Monumentalist, Fight or Flight as well is amazing. Denies it from the Juliet as well and the Estelle. Prime time on the Rasmus is pretty nice, but also kind of denies his own Estelle, who picks up that Chrono boost in the end. Dash range is nice, but I would have loved to see something like an Extra Special just for the extra rain or the extra ultimate usage. 1-2 punch going the way of that Kai means that Juliet denied away from Fight or Flight, denied away from 1-2 punch. Not as strong as this Juliet could be, even picking up the Unstoppable earlier. So a lot of opportunity. Claps waking up there in fine fashion as well. One barrier going down, but it's a trade for 2 on the other side. There's the double. York Strikers getting the goal there, a 14-second point that looked very one-sided at first. Texas State, Collapse absolutely clapping the opponents there, but then getting clapped back just as quickly and just as decisively there. York Strikers not out of this by any means.
Cliff, thank you for the $5 donation as that goal was scored. There goes Ozzy on the Asher. Yet another power play opportunity for the York Spartan Strikers. Big Bro coming out, grabbing that other goal barrier, trying to just get this game finished, done. They've got a bedtime to hit there. Big Bro grabs that goal with an assist from the Rasmus. Match point.
Match point. York Strikers blitzing through Texas State here. As much as it hurts to say it, they have been consistent and surgical with their KO comps here. I was doubting the Estelle, but there is no room for doubt. Big Bro's got it under control. He is just KOing 24/7 and somehow managing to find an extra few hours into that to also control the core and get the barriers. Good Giga though from Claps coming back at the end. This potentially is the second win of Texas State. This could be where they fight back, but it also could be the end. The core is going back over. The Pearson shot is really nice. The flurry as well comes out. The punch, though, is not perfect. Good patience from Jacob, finding the angle to get it through, but a strike war lost by Ozzy there is going to mean that it's back on his side of the map. More core control in the middle here. Speed gate found by Claps and Echo. We see the Giga Blast goes a little bit wide. The core flip from Big Bro actually countered amazingly by Jacob. Dash punch is not. Ozzy, though, has the core flip, has the pass splitter. So many abilities available. Can they get it through? The answer is not quite just yet, but they have it in the front. That's Estelle going down. This is the opportunity that Texas State has been waiting for. Can they get it done? Jacob playing up, using the astral protection, but it's a little bit of a misbounce there. Ozzy tried to dash through, but hits the Juliet, but it's going to be done by the barrage after a barrier beam. Texas State, can they make the reverse sweep of reverse sweeps happen? They are 1 game, 2 sets, and 2 points down, but this is it for them.
Dang, give it up for AJ there. Solo carrying that cast. Texas State needs to play perfect from here until they get 3 goals. They cannot slip up. They've already got 1 goal down, goal barrier down in this matchup. Ozzy's trying to grab a second and will. Nice Claps ready to receive, but Big Bro is intercepting that goal barrier here at the midfield. Ozzy dribbling back and forth, trying to get the energy up, trying to grab another core flip there. Big Bro comes up, grabs the win condition. The goal is open. Claps looking to almost there, almost gets a core flip as well, as does Ozzy, as does Jacob. Jacob grabs, has the goal barrier now. They need this. It's right into Aether Echo's arms. Big Bro dribbling it forward, trying to get it off. Jacob gets the core flip off. Aether has it, as does Nice Claps. Nice Claps could be in a good position here, but they're getting the beating of a lifetime. Hook Tua! Wolfmang razzes on that thing. It's a 2-3 power play opportunity for the York Spartan Strikers. They're looking to grab it here. Aether, core flip. Good expanse from Jacob, but it's not enough. The York Spartan Strikers win it 2-0.
Well played by the York Strikers there, shutting down Texas State's second win. Texas State tried to come back. They tried. They had their hand reaching out of the pile of their corpses, and then along comes the York Strikers, Big Bro, Wolfmang, and Aether Echo. just shuts that down, slaps that hand right back down where it came from. No survivors, no prisoners, not even a single set to Texas State.
Fellas, I might have said something extremely cringe, but it flowed well, so that's all that matters. Trademark says, one in chat if I should kick Surplus off the CCL admin team for saying that. You know what, buddy? You can produce. Go for it. Hey, no, it's okay. It's totally fine. York Spartan Strikers grab the match 2-0 here. What stat line as well, Big Bro? 7 goals and 5 KOs. You hit the nail right on the head there when you said that might have been a mispick there from the side of Texas State. So we'll see where that goes as well.
Yeah, I when they just let that Julie go through, knowing what Big Bro did on the X and then giving Julie on Night Market, I would even say that on Night Market, Julie is better than X in most cases. Depends on the player, of course. Some players are just better at X, but I would say overall definitely goes to the Julie. So letting that get through the first pick ban. And I mean, Claps was able to do a lot. He had some moments there when he wasn't dead that he was able to just run through, get some double barriers, but those plays always petered out before too long. They were never able to get that consistent aggression that you need to wear down Wolfmang, because that's the big thing. Wolfmang only 59 saves here, barely touched the core this game in comparison. He just didn't need to. With Ether Echo on that absolutely killer midfield and Big Bro just killing the opponent, so it's basically just a 2v2 on the other side of the field, Wolfmang just had to hit the occasional token bit of aggression that they managed to squeak through the forwards, and really well played by Texas State, even still in that, I should say, because it's hard to stay alive when they get ahead. Letting that...
No, you're good. You're good. No, you go for it. Finish your point.
I was going to say, like, letting that Julie through, I think, is a heck of a misdraft, but still playing and continuing and scoring goals into effectively a Fed Juliet, well played Texas State. I cannot stress how difficult it is to do what Texas State did in those moments where they were staying alive. If they can just work on for the future weeks that drafting process, making sure that they deny their opponents the characters that they need to get those win conditions on those maps, I definitely believe that they have an opportunity to see us in the playoffs.
Absolutely. No disrespect to Texas State. They played phenomenally. They played as best as they could. I know that I'm seeing the chat logs right now. Texas State is not feeling well, so please give them some love. Make sure that, they can get back from this. That's totally fine. I think they can. Their season's not over whatsoever. It's just your first loss. This is okay. You probably will be able to come back and climb back into the upper echelon of the 3-1s, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1-esque mentality as well. Also, if you hit 4 wins, you're into the postseason automatically. So we'll start seeing some postseasons get clinched at the very least next week. Which will be a very exciting time indeed. So GG's to Texas State, but York coming out on top, showing that they mean business. They made playoffs last semester. They're trying to make it again here. AJ, any final thoughts before we throw it to a break?
Just thank you, and thank you for everyone. What are we at right now? We're something like $500 away. I think we were 530, got 30 in that game.
We're under 400 now. We're under $400 away from getting this bad boy off of my face. So, yeah. But yeah, that'll do it for here for this matchup. Next up, we've got a very awesome one. The primetime. Not Primetime Tuesday. Oh my goodness, Vaudable. I miss you, buddy. The Primetime Wednesday. The primetime matchup. George Mason versus UCF. But don't go anywhere. We've got a very special treat.